Check it. Let's say you're in a company or an organization and you've heard this buzzword, data, data, data everywhere. And you really don't want to be left behind. And now you're thinking about how would I leverage data in my organization or the company that I'm working in. This is the best way to approach this. The first thing you really need to understand is the data that your company has. By fully understanding the data that you have a full scope of all the data the company produces. And this can help you understand what solutions the data you have can provide and what extra data you need to collect to create more solutions for the company. So these are the steps I think you should take as a company or as an organization to start leveraging the data that you have. The first thing that you really need to understand is that domain knowledge is extremely important in any data role. The data roles I'm talking about are data engineers, data analysts, data scientists. For a data engineer, he really has to understand the domain so that he knows which data he has to collect from surveys, APIs, the login systems that they have, POS systems, web scraping, etc. By having domain knowledge or domain expertise, the data engineer really understands what data to collect, what to discard, how to clean the data to make sure that the most important data is collected. For data analysts and data scientists, just look at this Venn diagram. In this Venn diagram, we really see how important domain knowledge is. Without domain knowledge, all we have are algorithms which are not in any way important in creating. All we have are algorithms and we can create models from these algorithms, but without any domain, we cannot create any impact or provide any solutions to anyone. For example, let's say you're a data scientist in the medical field and you're using image recognition to try and detect cancer cells in its early stages. With enough domain knowledge, you get to understand the fact that predicting that somebody has cancer and actually he does not have, or a couple of cells are cancerous and they are not, is less damaging than predicting cells are not cancerous yet they actually are. Because in the first case you lead to saying somebody has cancer and they don't have, which is not as bad as saying somebody doesn't have it and he or she actually has it. With this domain knowledge, tuning of the hyperparameters becomes a little bit easy because you're trying to tune them to make sure that the true statements have a very high accuracy, while neglecting or ignoring the false truths. Because if the false truths don't have a high accuracy, no problem. But if the true truths have a low accuracy, there's a very big problem there. And all this is tied within the domain knowledge of the specific field a person is actually in. So first, you really have to understand the data that you possess. Combining this with the domain knowledge that you have can now be used to see how this data can solve the problems that are within the organization or the company. And also having domain knowledge helps you understand the problems of the company or the organization. Knowing the problems of the company or the organization, you really understand which type of data can solve these problems. And if you're in possession of this data, you can solve the problems. And if not, you plan how you can collect new data to solve the problems that you have or provide solutions. So thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. See you in the next one. Peace.